You, a qualified ex-girlfriend, were dismissed by your ex-boyfriend with a huge sum of money, yet you're using that breakup money to hire 8 male models at a club and live it up, not even flinching when your ex-boyfriend himself shows up to confront you, and even righteously thanking him for being so generous with the breakup money, but he gritted his teeth and roared that it wasn't a breakup fee at all, but a birthday gift he had meticulously prepared. Before Luke Dawson went abroad to find his first love, he transferred a huge sum of money to me. He also added a note. Live well. I understood perfectly and didn't pester him. I took the money and disappeared from his world. Half a month later, he dug me out of a male model's arms. Oh, quite the life you're living. I chuckled. Isn't that all thanks to your generous breakup fee? He was silent for a moment, then erupted in a thunderous roar. Damn breakup fee, that was my birthday gift to you! What woke me up in the morning wasn't an alarm clock, not my dreams, nor my boyfriend's good morning kiss. It was a notification that money had been deposited into my bank account. I groggily counted the zeros, and the more I counted, the more awake I became. My hands trembling, I clicked into the details. The postscript had only 4 words, live well. My mind went blank for a moment. The other side of the bed was already cold, and I couldn't see a single thing belonging to Luke. Based on my years of experience reading CEO romance novels on Shihongshi and Bagoo, I had, most likely, been dumped. It wasn't entirely unexpected. When I first got together with Luke, I knew this day would come sooner or later. Luke, a wealthy young master, was notoriously fickle. And he was very generous to his ex-girlfriends, giving out breakup fees quite lavishly. Now, I had indeed witnessed it, and I should tactfully exit his life, but my finger unconsciously clicked into our pinned chat. I guess I was still a little unwilling. Unwilling that after just one night, all the love could vanish. Was last night's tenderness fake? Was his tender promise, I will witness and participate in every important moment of your life, fake? While I was lost in thought, a new message popped up. Did you receive it? Before I could reply, he sent another. Sorry, I have to miss it. You can choose a place you like and take your time decorating it in your own style. I typed, why, then deleted it. Did I not do well enough? Deleted. Can we not break up? Woo-woo-wah, please. Deleted. I typed and deleted, unable to send a single message. After a long time, Luke called me directly. His tone was lazy. What are you typing? A long essay? Don't bother, it's not that serious. Hearing a broadcast announcement on his end, I paused. Where are you? The airport. I clutched my phone, and a possibility suddenly struck me, making my voice hoarse. Flying to France? Luke chuckled. So smart. My heart instantly died. I'd always heard that Luke had a white moonlight in France, someone he'd drop everything for and fly to be with at her slightest beckoning. And I was the one being dropped. Before hanging up, Luke even reminded me not to be late for my first day of work today. How novel. We'd broken up, and he was still concerned about his ex-girlfriend working hard. I counted the zeros again, and let out a sigh of relief. I consulted my best friend, who was frantically preparing for the bar exam, and got the conclusion that this money wouldn't be taken back. I decisively resigned, blocked Luke, changed my number, and moved out. It was all smooth and seamless, done in one go. I was super self-aware. A qualified ex-girlfriend should vanish into thin air. No news. Absolutely no looking back or pestering. At least Luke didn't fall for the persistent type. Not only did he not fall for it, he absolutely detested it. So, no matter how reluctant I was, I couldn't make a scene, couldn't argue, couldn't erase the last bit of good impression he had of me. All I could do was buy Little Dear coffee at full price, wear daily contacts with no makeup, and order takeout without using discount coupons. Damn it, why is this money so durable? What I spend every day doesn't even grow as fast as the interest. A poor person, suddenly rich, I genuinely couldn't think of how to spend money lavishly. I searched for plans after winning the lottery. Buying cars, speculating in real estate, stocks, funds, all methods of making money from money. Not a single hint of extravagance. People! How can you be so greedy? Don't you know when to quit while you're ahead and just enjoy life? 2 minutes later, I started searching for low-risk, high-return investment methods. After reading a bunch, my head was filled with jargon, and I dizzyingly put down my phone. Forget it. People can't earn money beyond their cognitive scope, and almost every article put buying a house first, which made me a little uncomfortable. I remember the day I got my job. I happily invited Luke to dinner. One step closer to my goal. I'm the eldest in my family, with two younger brothers. After my brothers started elementary school, I was forced to give up my room and move to the balcony. Two screens served as the walls of my room, unable to hide my awkwardness and embarrassment. My parents were self-righteous, saying it was perfect for monitoring whether I was having early relationships and neglecting my studies, and besides, girls are meant to marry out anyway. So there's no need to keep a room for them. After being peeked at by my brother while changing clothes for the umpteenth time, I made up my mind that I must have my own small house. A bedroom is a bedroom, and a balcony is a balcony. Luke was silent for a while after listening, then nodded. You will. He then asked me what my next goal was. I boldly declared, to raise a bunch of cats and dogs with Luke in a small house. He smiled. I guess he was already thinking of breaking up then. He was probably laughing at me. I turned over uncomfortably. The aftermath of the breakup hit me harder than I expected. I was just thinking about going somewhere to travel and clear my head when my best friend called. Wah, sugar mommy. Take care of me. I don't want to work anymore. Wah. I decided to wait until she finished her 2 exams. Then we'd go out and have some wild fun together. Every day, I'd supervise her getting up to study, and in my free time, we'd gossip, and I'd figure out some nutritious snacks to boost her brain power. I don't think about him as much anymore. I couldn't help but sigh to my best friend late at night. She was half asleep. That's normal. Less than a minute later, I was biting the corner of my blanket, whimpering. I still miss him. It's great to be rich, but I want to be rich and I want him too. Am I too greedy? Her voice was utterly drowsy. Understandable. Then if I add him back, shamelessly beg him to get back together, is there a chance? My best friend was silent for a few seconds, then took a deep breath. Can't you have some ambition? You're rich and free now. What kind of entertainment can't you find? Don't dwell on that ex-sugar daddy who won't come back. Okay, fine. I burrowed into the covers, muffled. Tomorrow I'll download the game again, and I'll flirt with 10 or 8 guys in one go. My best friend stopped talking. After a while, she squirmed over to me and pinched my face, gritting her teeth. Wake up. You can only flirt with elementary school kids and social delinquents in games. Forget it. When I finish my exams, I'll take you to see the world. The world? What world? Was she talking about male models, hosts, and Gaga? I've seen them. In the first year with Luke, I attended a birthday party his friends threw for him. At the KTV, there were scantily clad men and women around every corner. The men weren't as handsome as Luke, nor did they have as good a physique as Luke. If I had to pick one outstanding quality, it would be my sweet talk, each word a sugary delight that melted hearts. Unfortunately, I only got a few words in before a scowling Luke dragged me home. I was forced to listen to his sarcastic remarks all night, accompanied by intense, passionate entanglement. But why is it that what burns brightest often cools first? So cruel. Unable to sleep, I finally opened the game. It's good for passing the time and distracting myself. In bed, the phone screen light was harsh, and I squinted, waiting for the interface to load. After clicking through a dazzling array of welcome back gifts and event pop-ups, I clicked into my friends list and immediately saw a new message. S. Reply when you see this. The message was from 6 days ago. The one before that was 4 years ago, when I said I was going to live seriously and wouldn't play anymore, and he wished me a happy real life. This person. Ah, I remember now. During the summer after the college entrance exam, to earn living expenses, I worked as a game companion for a while. S was a randomly matched jungler who added me as a friend and invited me to play. When he found out I was taking orders, he directly bought out my services. Later, I found a part-time job and stopped, but occasionally we would still duo queue when I logged on. Sorry, I just saw this. Is something wrong? I couldn't imagine any reason why he would contact me after 4 years. Is he still impressed with my skills? Or, after all this time, does he want a refund? He clearly swore he was an adult and there would be no refunds. The next day, as soon as I opened my eyes, I tapped into the chat box. No new replies. Maybe I sent it to the wrong person. Just as I was about to exit, his previously gray avatar suddenly lit up, and almost immediately, a new message popped out. Where did you go without a word? I was stunned for a moment, asking if he was asking what I'd been doing these past few years. Studying, dating, finding a job, becoming single again. Single? He seemed very surprised. Suddenly, it was a bit hard to talk about. I said I wanted to live seriously, and I seriously dated Luke for 3 years, only for him to break up with me abruptly. So embarrassing. But I still honestly replied, "It's normal. We broke up when we got tired of each other." The messages from the other side popped up quickly. Tired? Who got tired? How did they get tired? I sighed, remembering myself foolishly dreaming of the future just a week ago. I replied. There's no forever in this world. I was too naive. The word naive was censored into asterisks. I changed it to, I'm quite stupid. The word stupid was censored into asterisks. I continued to change it to clown. After typing these two words, I stared blankly for a moment, then suddenly broke down. In the end, I only sent, it's me. I'm tired. Seeing a string of question marks from the other side, I broke down even more. What's so strange about it? Who would on just one man for a lifetime? Biting my lip, I continued to break down. There are as many young, fresh times, asterisks times as you want. The other side didn't reply for a long time. I fell asleep again, and when I woke up, I saw he had sent a smiling emoji, plus 4 words. Truly remarkable. I don't know what was remarkable about it. But the days of accompanying him for exams were finally not so boring. It felt like 3 years ago again, playing duo. Back then, I'd chat idly with the mic on, and he'd silently type his replies. Fearing I'd disturb my best friend, now I was the one with the mic off. S had his mic on, but hadn't spoken. We played silently until the 3rd game, when his voice came through my headphones. Come get the blue buff. I froze in the river. It wasn't until a landling king, who appeared out of nowhere, took me out in one combo that I finally snapped back to reality. I'm sorry. He paused, then chuckled softly. Sorry for what? It sounded. It really sounded like him, but his voice seemed a bit deeper. Your voice sounds a lot like my ex-boyfriend's. The other end inexplicably sounded sarcastic. Oh, then I'll mute my mic? Aren't you tired of it? No need. You can keep talking. After sending it, I suddenly remembered something, but my typing speed couldn't catch up to the respawn countdown, so I could only delete everything first. So, his aphasia was cured. S once caused his best friend to become disabled due to an accident, and he couldn't overcome the psychological barrier, becoming unable to speak for a time. Now that he can communicate normally, he must have moved past it. Thinking about it this way, it's probably better not to bring up old wounds. Halfway through the game, my best friend, who was on the verge of a breakdown from studying, ran over and hugged me, crying, I don't want to take the exam anymore. Boo-hoo. Maybe I should just go find a job. Boo-hoo. I was distracted and tried to appease her, but she pinched my cheeks and demanded, Is the game more important or am I? Is Blondie more important or am I? I was fed up. It was a losing game anyway, so I just surrendered. You're giving up already? Yeah, I'm off. So fast. Something wrong? I have a clingy person to coax. Oh, a new love? Why was she so aggressive again? I frowned and quickly replied, I'll be on later. The other end relentlessly pressed. What time is later? You're not lying to me, are you? You keep your word, I'll wait forever. I took off my headphones, and the world became quiet, but a subtle feeling flashed through my mind. Even the tone of voice was similar. After a satisfying walk and chat with my best friend, we passed an inconspicuous storefront, and she suddenly stopped. Shall we come here next week? Of course. But where is this? The most reputable club in H City. Super high quality. I understood. She was still thinking of showing me the world. Actually, it's not necessary. I haven't gotten over Luke yet, and I have no interest in other men. How about you focus on your studies first, and we'll go out and have fun after your exams. But, she shook my arm, next week is your birthday. I had completely forgotten about it. For the past 2 years, I'd spent my birthdays with Luke. Now that we'd broken up, mentioning it left me feeling empty. Come on. Come on. It's so lonely with just the 2 of us at home. It'll be much better if we celebrate together. The word together hit me hard. But I still held my ground and shook my head. I don't like those kinds of places. She couldn't persuade me and had to give up. After our walk, we went for a late-night snack, and it was past 10 when we got back. It's so late, he probably isn't online anymore. Logging in, his avatar was lit up. Before I even clicked into the chat box, a team invite popped up. I quickly spoke. Sorry, something came up, I'm late. The other end was silent, only slightly ragged breathing rising and falling. Not starting? It's been a while. S paused, his voice inexplicably strained. It's been a while since I heard your voice. It really had been a while. I glanced at the bathroom. My friend is showering. I can turn on my mic now, but I'll turn it off later. As soon as I finished speaking, the other end seemed to stop even breathing. Lag? How could we play like this? I was already a bit tired and was about to suggest playing tomorrow when S coldly spoke. Really got a new lover? You're quick? I hope I'm not interrupting anything good? I couldn't ignore the sarcasm in his words. Sure enough, Men love men the most. Whether I found a new lover or not was none of his business, and it was certainly not his place to defend Luke. But when I opened my mouth, I was honest. No new lover. It's my best friend. She's studying for an exam. S was quiet for a while. Then a long whooshing sound came through the headphones, like a sigh of relief. Oh, your best friend? Huh. He paused, then asked, City A? I was slightly stunned. City A was my hometown, and he actually knew. On second thought, it wasn't surprising. I probably mentioned it during that long summer when we chatted every day. I just didn't expect him to have such a good memory. City H. Oh. His voice was mixed with the crisp sound of keyboard clicks. There aren't many test centers. Did you book a room in advance? No need. We live very close. I abruptly stopped speaking. After all, the person on the other side was a stranger, so I vigilantly changed the subject. Still playing? If not, let's log off. It's late. Get some rest early. Don't go. He stopped me. Let's chat for 5 more minutes. About what? About how to keep you from getting bored. I also really wanted to ask Luke how to keep a relationship fresh and vibrant. I didn't know the answer myself. But since I'd already put it out there, I had to bite the bullet and try to find a standard answer. Good looking, good body, provides plenty of emotional value, and strong in bed. Am I? He cleared his throat, his tone stiff. Is he not good enough? He was absolutely perfect in every way. No flaws to pick at. If I kept talking, I'd give myself away. I racked my brain and stammered, well, he got fat. That wasn't a lie. Near graduation, Luke and I moved out of school to live together. We spent more time together, and whenever he had free time, he'd come and cuddle with me. Although his abs were still there, they were visibly less defined than before. Oh, there was a full 10 seconds of silence on the other end, followed by some rustling of clothes. When he spoke again, his tone was stiff. Logging off. You should go to bed early. I glanced at the time. It hasn't been 5 minutes yet. I need to go to the gym. It's urgent. I was very surprised. Men are truly unfathomable creatures. To the gym? In the middle of the night? My girlfriend ran off. I need to work hard to get her back. I paused for a moment, then mumbled a response. No wonder he suddenly contacted me. It turns out he's also going through a breakup. Wait, is that reasonable? I sternly and seriously said, you're being a bit of a jerk. If you want to win her back, do it properly. During a time like this, you're still trying to find other girls to play games with and chat just to pass the time? That's not okay. What about you? He suddenly interrupted me. Aren't you also passing the time with a strange man right now? Playing games together? Isn't that ambiguous enough? I choked, my cheeks instantly burning. I'm not like you. I broke up cleanly with my ex. To maintain my image, I whispered again. Besides, this is just passing the time. If I really wanted to have fun, I'd go to a club, or KTV. His voice instantly rose. You? Go to a club? I was slightly distracted. It sounded like something Luke would ask. Thinking that he's now with his white moonlight, and might have smoothly moved on to his next relationship, I bit my lower lip, and as if in defiance raised my voice. Yes, every day. And order 8. My best friend didn't understand why I changed my mind after taking a shower. But I was still very happy, and my enthusiasm for studying also increased significantly. On my birthday, I put on a small dress with little fabric that she handed me. I wanted to speak several times, but I stopped. After all, it is to consume men's sex, and there is always a feeling of spending money to please others. But she looked at me eagerly, wringing her fingers with an uneasy expression. Don't you like Bao? I chose it for a long time and think it's really suitable for you. I immediately nodded desperately. I like it. I love it to death. Friends' feelings are the most important thing, and disappointment is simply a great sin in life. Isn't it just being condensed by a man you don't like? Patience is over. Less than 2 minutes after sitting down in the booth. I'm really pretending. Shocked by the beauty, I couldn't find the north, this bee waist, this ape back, and the statue like delicate faces under the dark purple wine-red light. Reason evaporates in the thick air of fragrances and cigars. Sister, would you like to open another bottle of Ace of Spades? Open! Open 10 bottles. Sister, do you want to wear a dress? I happily draped his tight and warm pectoral muscles on my back. There is one on the left, one on the right, and one behind him. The whole person was dizzy by waves of young hormones. A cup of otter sacrifice ice cream was handed in front of him at the right time. Sister, I'll feed you. The pretty boy bit one end of the small spoon and leaned over. The floral perfume smell is baked by body temperature, and it comes to the face like a spring. Sake and cream swirled in my mouth, and I felt a little tipsy. Otherwise, why would I suddenly think of Luke? In such a happy atmosphere, his gloomy face was truly out of place. I even hallucinated his voice, light and mocking. Oh, quite dashing. It was indeed quite dashing. I never thought life could be so exciting. I savored the aftertaste of the ice cream. I want more. Feed me another bite. That bite didn't happen. It was snatched away by a hand that appeared out of nowhere. A man who looked a lot like Luke stood before me, staring intently, and slowly put that bite of ice cream into his mouth. Damn it, that was $50 a bite. How did he get to eat it? Pay up! No? Did I order this person? My hazy mind was struggling to think when my cheek was suddenly cupped. His palm and knuckles were slightly cool, and the touch on my skin made me shiver. The man's voice was low. Open your mouth. Weren't you asking to be fed? Eek! No way. Although I had opened a new world tonight, it hadn't opened to this extent, but my sluggish nerves couldn't close my mouth in time, and a rich, cool sensation was delivered to my tongue, pausing, then fiercely intertwining. My head was buzzing. Who the hell are you stealing business? The complaints of the surrounding guys gradually faded, and the thumping of my heart in my chest grew louder with each beat. Even though I was still sitting in the warm embrace of the male model, I suddenly felt my blood temperature rapidly dropping. Something was wrong. This man, I struggled to push him away, and my earlobe was gently pinched. I instantly sobered up. I had kissed Luke countless times, and his little gesture clearly indicated what he meant. Focus. Focus, my foot. How did he get here? Finally, my best friend pulled Luke away. She was drunk and slurred. What's your employee ID? How can you be so rude? After seeing his face clearly, her expression turned dumbfounded. Huh? She looked at me, then at Luke. Jennifer, I think I've had too much to drink. I actually saw your ex-boyfriend. Ha ha ha. Luke, expressionless, instructed someone behind him. Take this lady home and make sure she studies. She's not allowed to sleep until her accuracy rate is 80%. How dare you make things difficult for her? I wanted to stand up and stop him, but my waist was still encircled by the handsome guy behind me. I couldn't stand up, and ended up sitting back down with a thud. The handsome guy let out a soft groan, his tone full of twists and turns. Sister, you want more? Let's do it again. Luke's face suddenly darkened, and a black card was thrown onto the table, his voice seemingly frozen. Get as far away as you can! The warmth behind me instantly disappeared. Not only behind me, but also to my left and right. All the handsome guys I could see were gone. They disappeared so fast they left after images, and I was bewildered. A jacket, still warm, was thrown over my head. Put it on. The leather sofa sagged as he sat beside me. The cool scent dispelled the powdery smell in my nostrils, and I slowly came to my senses, clutching the clothes. What was this feeling of being caught in the act? I tried to move away, but couldn't. A large hand clasped my side, and Luke's aggressively handsome face was inches away. In a hurry to leave? The night is still long. I'll play with you. He glanced at the table, a smirk playing on his lips. After all, we've ordered so many varieties. We can't let them go to waste, can we? Jennifer Delaney. He enunciated my name with a pause, and even the dullest person could sense his suppressed anger. I felt inexplicably guilty and confused. What was he doing? Even after breaking up, he still cared if his ex was having too much fun? That's just unfair. I didn't even care about him. Come on, tell me, how do you want to play? My wrist was seized and forced under his shirt, pressed against his abs. You seemed quite enthusiastic touching me just now. Why stop? A fruit platter was offered to me. Which one do you want to eat? I'll feed you. No? You're full, are you? Or do you want to throw some up first and then eat? I kept shrinking back. Luke, I'm a little tired. I want to go home. Home? He scoffed, as if he'd heard a joke. You've squandered all the money here. I don't think you want a home at all. I didn't understand what he was talking about. Was he upset that I used his breakup money to order male escorts? For a man like Luke, who was petty and possessive, it was indeed a bit out of line. He probably blew up. I chuckled awkwardly, trying to soften my tone. That's because you're so generous. Luke pointed at himself in disbelief. Do I look generous? I nodded vigorously like a pecking chick. Generous. Generous. The breakup fee is enough for me to buy an apartment. He paused, then hesitated. Breakup fee? What breakup fee? I don't remember giving you such a thing. Damn it. He wouldn't want it back, would he? I quickly pulled out my phone and clicked on the transfer record. Look, breakup fee. The club music was loud. Smoke filled the air, and a lively rhythm permeated everything, except for this booth. The atmosphere here seemed to have solidified. After a long moment, Luke struggled to speak. You think this is a breakup fee? Ah, what else could it be? It's not like it's for me to buy a house, right? Ha ha ha. The dry laughter stopped abruptly as Luke's face grew increasingly grim. Is there a possibility? Luke took a deep breath, his eyes like stagnant water. It's really for you to buy an apartment? Huh? Seeing my dumbfounded expression, he closed his eyes, gritting his teeth. That's my damn birthday present to you. Luke was so angry he didn't say a word the whole way. I was also very wronged. How could anyone ask such an important question at such a critical moment of scattered consciousness right at the doorstep? Any normal person would think that the lust-infused, "Do you want it?" was permission to proceed. And the panting, "Do you like it?" was a performance review, right? I shyly allowed it and gave a satisfied affirmation. Now he tells me that at that time, he was seriously asking me if I wanted to buy an apartment near the company as a birthday gift. Huh. Ridiculous. So what were all those nights of me whimpering and suffering, biting the corner of the duvet? Does it mean I can stay up late? There are 11 clubs in H City in total, and I patrol them every night, afraid of running into you and also afraid of not running into you. Oh, he can stay up late too. Because someone complained that I gained 2 pounds, I have to go to the gym to burn fat during the day. It's so tiring. His tone was full of resentment. Someone? His white moonlight? She's really working hard. Hope she doesn't overwork herself to death. I expressionlessly pulled back the covers for him. Then you should go to sleep. I'm going back now. With that, I turned to leave. Wait, he grabbed me. Where are you going in the middle of the night? Weren't you quite eager to register your ID at the front desk just now? That was then. This is now. I struggled to free my hand. My friend drank too much. I'm going back to check on her. You don't need to worry about her. Why not? I answered the video call. And oh, indeed I didn't. Her face was flushed, with 2 handsomely dressed, scantily clad men on either side. The one on the right lifted the hem of his shirt. Want to take off my clothes? Solve this problem first. The one on the left had already stripped, offering a small whip. Brother is so fierce. Unlike me, I only feel for my sister. Vent all your stress on me. 1 whip for each legal article you recite. Luke hung up the call for me. Like this? I snapped out of my shock. Huh? You should have said so earlier. He lowered his eyes, a hint of undeserved grievance in his expression. I can learn. He seemed to be waiting for me to deny it, but I honestly nodded. I like it. I started liking it today. Luke held back, finally conceding. Fine, I'll learn. As long as you don't get tired of it. Hmm? That sounds familiar. I struggled to recall for a while, and a preposterous guess popped into my head. No way. I couldn't believe it. I tentatively asked, How did you know I was in H City? He sighed almost imperceptibly and pulled me onto his lap. Silly. Haven't you realized it yet? I was horrified. Your S? The sky fell. So we knew each other so early. Then, during the time I was taking orders, all my one-sided girlish thoughts, family gossip, and even the gossip about the cats and dogs downstairs, weren't they all heard by him? Otherwise, how do you think I knew? You're the young master of the Dawson family. Based on my years of experience reading domineering CEO novels on tomato and Bagoo fiction websites, I deduced that he would simply wave his hand and instruct his secretary to find me, dead or alive. Am I some kind of gangster? Luke couldn't help but chuckle, his voice softening. Jennifer, the world is so big. If you're determined to leave, I won't be able to find you. It felt as if a hand had squeezed my heart, a tight, sour ache spreading through me. These past few days, I've been wondering what went wrong. I've thought about it day and night, but I just can't figure it out. Although I knew that in such a tender moment we should be sharing our true feelings, I still unromantically interrupted him. Luke, let's talk properly tomorrow. You should sleep first. I was genuinely afraid he'd suddenly die. Luke lowered his eyes, his gaze falling on my little dress, and the temperature rose. Sleep tomorrow. Let's take care of business first. The bow tied at the back of my neck was gently tugged, and my chest suddenly felt loose. I fumbled to cover myself, but he held my hands down. Luke stared intently for a while, then slowly leaned in closer. A burning flower bloomed on my chest, lingering upwards, blossoming on my lips. His puppy dog eyes, looking up, were fixed on me, his gaze darkening inch by inch, his voice hoarse. Do you want it? He slowly moved his hips, the meaning unmistakable. But I was afraid of another inexplicable misunderstanding, so I still needed to confirm. So I poked his hardness with my finger. Are you referring to this? Luke froze for a moment, then couldn't help but laugh, his breath caressing my ear. Big brothers? Didn't happen. A phone call interrupted the intimacy. Luke's desire faded, and he let go of me. Jessica Miller, don't worry, I'll be right back. Jessica, his first love. He said he could catch some sleep during the flight, but I, holding back a surge of anger, dragged him back to bed, forcing him to close his eyes and rest until morning. It's my birthday today. You have to listen to me. Luke hesitated for 2 seconds, then obediently lay down and pulled me into his arms. Whatever you say. I knew he hadn't really rested well all night. He'd been silently worried. She just came back from her last surgery. She's not adapting well, and her emotions are fluctuating quite a bit. I opened the airplane window shade, watched the sea of clouds outside for a while, then turned to ask, Last time? Luke nodded. Then, after a moment, he caught on and raised an eyebrow at me. Are you jealous? No. Love often feels like a debt, but guilt isn't love. I understand all of that. I'm just a little sad. Jessica used to be a principal dancer in a ballet company. 4 years ago, she finally had the opportunity to perform at the Bolshoi Theater in Moscow. With a dream she had pursued and worked for over 10 years finally within reach, her mental pressure also reached an unprecedented level. Her body reacted so severely that she couldn't eat or sleep. Luke, her longtime friend, couldn't bear to watch and insisted on taking her out to clear her head. Fate always strikes unexpectedly. A crossroads with a 0% accident rate happened to have an out-of-control vehicle that day, heading straight for Luke's side. Jessica, in the nick of time, pulled him to her side and raised her arm to shield him. No one died in the tragic accident, but the cost was Jessica's left arm, which could no longer be lifted independently after the injury. The swan's wings were broken. I saw Jessica at Luke's house. Her gaze didn't linger on me. It swept past me like air, going straight to Luke behind her. I want the butterfly pastries from the International Hotel. I'll have someone buy them. Oh, by the way, this is... Okay. Luke immediately agreed. I want you to buy them. The interruption was abrupt, and the living room fell silent for a moment. No problem. Luke gestured to the butler. Clean up the room. Miss Jennifer's room. Does it need to be changed? The butler quickly glanced at me, a little hesitant. Oh, it seemed the beautiful room with the garden view was taken. Luke, unfazed, said calmly, I meant my room. Jennifer will be with me. He squeezed my hand, then took it. Come on, see if there's anything you want to eat. I didn't move. I want to sleep for a bit. I played a little too hard last night. Luke's face immediately darkened, and he lowered his voice, clearly displeased. I'll deal with you when I get back. Luke returned 3 hours later, with a pile of delicious food. Pick something. I want that one. I immediately pointed to the bag of butterfly pastries. Okay. Only when he took them out did I realize he had bought 2 portions. What if she wants both portions? She can't eat that much. At most 1 piece to taste. What if she really wants them? Luke pulled up a chair and sat in front of me, lowering his gaze to help me unwrap the package. Jessica should be able to live a normal life after this repair surgery. So, you'll be free? He handed me a piece. Is it good? I chewed and chewed. It was really sweet. It's good. A slight smile appeared on Luke's face, and he reached out to wipe the corner of my mouth. I do these things for her not simply out of guilt, because she herself is my best friend. But even so, I won't give her what was originally yours just because she suddenly wants 2 portions. The mistakes I once made will never involve you, and you will not suffer any grievances because of them. Our relationship belongs only to the 2 of us and has nothing to do with anyone else. It was very sincere, his true feelings. I held down his hand, which was starting to wander. Okay, I know. Hurry up and send it to her. Why are you pushing your boyfriend away? Luke snatched the half-piece from my hand with dissatisfaction, stuffing it into his mouth and mumbling. Even the best friends shouldn't be alone in a room. He called the butler, handed him the large bag, gave a few instructions, closed the door, and turned to start tidying me up. Come on, elaborate on how you got so tired. What did you all play before I found you? Although Luke had clearly stated his attitude, he still couldn't stand Jessica's continuous blatant difficulties and willfulness. Dinner was a constant flurry of activity, with her directing Luke to serve soup, add rice, and peel clams. Clams! Just for a taste of freshness, she wanted someone to peel them. I immediately slurped loudly, demonstrating perfectly like a textbook. She quieted down, pouting. After dark, the butler knocked on the door, stammering, his face full of difficulty. Miss Bai wants the young master to go to her room. Luke was about to take a shower and casually replied, Tell her to contact me on WeChat if she needs anything. It's too late. She should rest early. I didn't say anything. I repeatedly refused his invitation to shower together, and while he was in the bathroom, I sneaked out. Jessica opened the door and saw me, unable to suppress a raised eyebrow. Can't sit still? I nodded. Is Luke impatient? I shook my head. She let out a light tsk. Don't you have a temper? I thought for a moment. I'm a little sad. It's okay to be sad. Jessica leaned against the doorframe. Don't hold it in. Go confront Luke properly. Ask him, what exactly is your relationship with me? I slowly interrupted her. I'm sad because you should be the white moonlight swan, not playing the role of the wicked female antagonist. She froze. Huh? When I used to chat with S, he often mentioned Jessica, a dance prodigy, a dazzling new star. It's normal for a star to be overshadowed by him, disfigured, and psychologically twisted. But this childish tactic, which caused no casualties, was merely her elaborate attempt at being elaborate. I specifically stayed behind and didn't go out with Luke, wanting to see what her intentions were, but she didn't come to bother me at all. Every time she imperiously made demands, Jessica's drooping hands would clutch her skirt hem, her eyes darting around, her body stiff. It was like an introvert trying hard to be an extrovert. People always act unnaturally when they force themselves to do things that don't fit their persona. She was putting on a brave front, trying to make Luke lose patience and become completely fed up. There's no need for this. Even if you're overly demanding and troublesome, it won't erase his sense of responsibility. It will only erode his years of friendship with you. In the end, he'll still take care of you, but his concern will become cold, a mere duty. You don't want it to turn out like that, do you? She remained silent. I had hit the nail on the head. I let out a soft breath. If you truly want him to let go of his guilt and genuinely find peace, you should live well for him to see. Did he ask you to say these things? No, he would probably never say these things to you. After a long while, she chuckled and said, You look quite clumsy, but you're quite articulate. For the past 2 years, I've told him countless times that I've come to terms with it and never regretted it. But the more sincere I was, the more solemn his expression became. I could totally understand. Even a casual listener like me had felt such regret for her that I couldn't sleep and would pull out my phone late at night trying to find some new updates. Not to mention Luke, who grew up with her. Perhaps the sadness she unconsciously revealed was too obvious, as she suddenly raised her hand and pinched my face. I've always known about you. That long summer, Luke would only smile a little when he played games with you. Looking up, Jessica had already stood up straight and walked inside. The bag of butterfly cookies remained untouched on the table. Later, you said you wouldn't play anymore, and he became depressed like a zombie for a long time. Noticing my worry, he started having relationships that lasted no more than a month, putting on a show of being carefree and unrestrained for me, pretending to live a normal life until he met you again. I was slightly stunned. Luke was 2 grades older than me, so logically, we shouldn't have had any interaction. One ordinary day in the 2nd semester of my freshman year, after finishing my daily broadcast for the radio club, I pushed open the door and saw him sitting obediently by the door, holding a ball, waiting for me. Ah, a large dog. That thought suddenly popped into my head at the time. The large dog's eyes lit up and followed me. March 1st. Was that goodnight story on the official account read by you? Worried that something was wrong, I nervously pulled out my phone, ready to contact the club president, but he curved his eyes and leaned in closer. It was absolutely beautiful. I've heard many reasons for a sudden flutter of the heart, but someone confessing because my voice sounds good is a first. Now I realize it wasn't because it sounded good, but because the voice belonged to me. Jessica picked up her phone and sent a few messages. Then, as if remembering something, she tilted her head slightly towards me. Aren't you really worried I'll sow discord? Maybe I'm tattling to Luke and you're here bullying me, huh? Even if you did, Luke wouldn't believe it. They have that trust, and Luke and I do too. That's good, she said, putting away her phone. I've asked a friend to pick me up. I don't want to stay here for another second. It's much more comfortable with friends. She was in a hurry, leaving that very night. I took a step closer, asking eagerly, If your arm nerve repair goes well, will you go back on stage? Probably not. This industry updates so quickly, and I've already missed my prime. Her gaze lingered on my face, and she quickly stopped herself. But when I want to dance, I'm much more free and uninhibited. I choose my own music, time, and place. Actually, I've started learning to paint recently, and that's quite interesting too. The night breeze stirred the sheer curtains, and Jessica stood by the window, beauty taking concrete form. Jessica would never know that 4 years ago, a girl was genuinely captivated by her tenacity in pursuing her dreams, by her strength in rehabilitation. A sudden lightness filled my heart. It's truly wonderful. My never-before-met white moonlight is indeed a radiant moon. I wish you all the best. After stammering out the words, I backed out and closed the door for her. Turning around, my eyes widened slightly. Luke was leaning against the wall in his bathrobe. I didn't know how long he'd been standing there. Just as I was about to speak, he shook his head at me and made a shushing gesture. I clamped my mouth shut and followed him back to the room. After closing the door, I eagerly grabbed him. That's too much! How could you eavesdrop? How much did you hear? He let me jump around. I only heard some, "You're even prettier than I imagined. Can I get your contact info? What kind of art do you study?" I really didn't expect it. You went and cornered my friend when I wasn't looking, and you're more genuinely interested in her than in me. My face flushed. No way. Why are you even jealous of your good friend? She's such an excellent person. Can't I get to know her? It doesn't affect you. Jennifer, Luke gently interrupted me, the teasing gone from his voice, replaced by seriousness. A little stunned. Thank you. Thank me for what? Before I could wonder, he changed the subject. But the jealousy I need to feel, I still will. My waist was encircled. And someone's romantic debts to me, those must also be repaid.